People with high cholesterol levels don't get Alzheimer's. Why don't they get Alzheimer's? Because what does the brain love? Fat. So what's a good cholesterol level? Oh, probably 200, 250. So see what's happened? They've got many people on cholesterol-lowering medication. They've got everyone on the fat-free diet. And because you're not getting the feeling of satiation or satisfaction when you eat, the person eats huge amounts of carbs. They've lowered the cholesterol level so they can get more people on cholesterol-lowering medication. And people are eating margarine. Oh, surely all of that has reduced heart disease. No, it's still the #1 killer.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill will explain the surprising truth about cholesterol in this video. Cholesterol is often misunderstood, and many people might not know that it's not all bad. It's actually an essential component of our body's function. However, as we age, maintaining balanced cholesterol levels becomes crucial for heart health. Did you know that nearly 38% of adults over 60 have high cholesterol? This can increase the risk of heart disease. But there's good news. There are natural ways to manage cholesterol levels. In this video, Dr. Barbara O'Neill will break down everything you need to know about cholesterol, the numbers you should keep an eye on, and practical lifestyle tips to maintain a healthy heart.
Another essential is fat. You see, 50% of this membrane around our heart cells is made up of protein, and 50% of the membrane around this heart cell, muscle cell, is made up of fat. But many people stop fat because of cholesterol, am I right? And you might have seen the Catalyst show a couple of years ago where they showed that cholesterol does not cause heart disease. And I do have room to write this. There is a book you can get, and you might like to write this down. It's an e-book called The Cholesterol Lie by Dr. Dwight Lundell. Now, Dr. Dwight Lundell is a cardiovascular surgeon, and he has performed 10,000 bypasses. Notice the book that he's written, The Cholesterol Lie, showing that cholesterol is not what causes heart disease. There's another book called The Great Cholesterol Deception by Dr. Peter Dingle. He's from Perth. And if you looked at the show on Catalyst, I don't know whether anyone looked at it on iView, last August, Fat or Fiction, it shows there that cholesterol is a non-issue. Cholesterol does not cause heart disease. To have a look at cholesterol because there's a lot of really misinformation about cholesterol. So with cholesterol, 80% of the cholesterol that the liver makes is made from glucose. And 20% of the cholesterol that the body makes is made from fat. You see that equation? It's not the butter on the bread, it's the bread under the butter that's the problem. And last night we looked at the dangers of wheat and how when the wheat was hybridized in the 1950s, it produced a type of wheat that is very difficult for the body to handle. Now, last night we looked at how it gets the blood sugar level up higher than even sugar because of the type of starch that was created in the hybridization process. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the gluten and how it actually affects the function of the heart. But first of all, we'll look at cholesterol. Now, there are two types of cholesterol, two main types. There's high-density lipoprotein called HDL, and LDL is the low-density lipoprotein. So let me draw a heart vessel here and show you what's happening in the heart. Because HDL and LDL, they're like the maintenance team on the blood vessels in the body. And HDL's role is to carry away excess cholesterol. So it's called the carrier. Whereas LDL, it's the repairer and the rebuilder. That's its role in the body. So when you consider that LDL is the repairer and the rebuilder, where are you going to find LDL? You'll find LDL wherever there's a need for repair, wherever there's a need for rebuilding. So the two different types of cholesterol are high-density lipoprotein, HDL, and low-density lipoprotein. Because of its low density, LDL is always found on the edge of the blood vessel. And because of its high-density lipoprotein is always found in the middle. That's where you'll find the two different types of cholesterol. Now, let's say a person is a smoker. 4,000 chemicals in one cigarette, and that can cause damage in the arterial wall. So the chemicals in cigarettes can cause a hole in the arterial wall. Mercury, it's a neurotoxin. It can cause a hole to be made in the arterial wall. Yeast or mould in the blood can cause a hole to be made in the wall. And if the person's on a high wheat, high sugar, high alcohol diet, feeding the yeast, can you see what's happening? What's going to plug up the hole in the arterial wall? LDL. LDL plugs it up. Remember what LDL is? The repairer and the rebuilder. It'll plug up the hole. That's what it does.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill will explain how LDL works to repair damaged arteries by temporarily plugging them. However, if issues like smoking, high sugar diets, or toxins aren't addressed, more LDL builds up, leading to artery blockages. This process, called atherosclerosis, narrows arteries and raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Dr. O'Neill emphasizes that the real problem isn't cholesterol itself, but the damage caused by poor lifestyle choices. Meanwhile, HDL, or good cholesterol, helps by removing cholesterol from the arteries. Maintaining a balance between LDL and HDL is crucial. Eating healthy fats, exercising, and avoiding smoking can support this balance. Ultimately, Dr. O'Neill suggests focusing on preventing arterial damage through diet, toxin avoidance, and stress management to improve heart health.
Supposed to happen is the person's supposed to stop smoking, the person's supposed to get out of the mouldy house, the person's supposed to get the mercury fillings out of their mouth, or instead of having tuna and salad for lunch, they have hummus or lentil burgers and salad for lunch. The person's supposed to stop smoking and drinking and high wheat, high sugar. And at the same time, that's a person's supposed to be eating highly nourishing food. So where's your fibre? All your plant food, plant-based have fibre, your whole foods. Where's your protein? Your protein is found in your legumes, your lentils, chickpeas, lima beans, tofu, only if it's organic, nuts and seeds. And where's your fats, your nuts and your seeds, and also your coconut oils, your olive oils? When a person is eating those nutrients, the body can heal the hole. Can you see that? All those nutrients basically are all the building materials that the body needs to heal the hole. And then HDL comes along and takes away the excess cholesterol. Can you see how these two work together in maintaining the arterial wall? And often LDL is blamed as the bad cholesterol. The body doesn't make anything bad. No, they work together in maintaining arterial strength. Because if nothing plugs up the hole, the blood can leak into the tissues and we can die. What an amazing body that God gave us. But do you know what's happening with many people? Many people don't realise what the smoking's doing to them, or the drinking, or the wheat, or the sugar, or the mouldy house, or the mercury fillings in their mouth. Many are sick through ignorance. So they continue. And the person's so busy they don't have time to cook the lentils, and all they've got time for is cereal, or the quick sandwich for lunch, or the quick pasta 2-minute noodles for tea. And so they don't have the nourishment needed to repair the hole, not just plug it up like LDL, to actually repair it so HDL can be taken away. And so what's happening in the arterial wall? It's building up and up and up and up and up and up. So what's happening in the arteries? It's called atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis. When I worked as a psychiatric nurse for 18 months, I worked in the operating theatre, and we would do basic surgical procedures on psych patients. And we did a bypass one day. And when the artery had been taken out, and what do? They actually cut one from the leg here and sew that in the heart. And by the way, that artery wall is not made of strong stuff like this artery, so it's not going to last as long. And the surgeon got the artery that had been cut out, and he got like tweezers, and he started to pull the white gristle out of the artery. And we look at that white gristle and we go, oh, that cholesterol's bad. But do you know what he's never addressed? Why is it there? Why is it there? And you know, some people don't have any build-up on their arteries. Why do some do and why do some don't? And so what people are told, it's the fat. Yeah? It's the fat. It's not the fat. In fact, every muscle, every cell in the body needs fat. The brain is the fattiest organ in the body. About a year ago, Time magazine did an article on fat. Front page of Time magazine, little curl of butter, and it said, fat. No, it said butter. Why we were wrong on the fat. And it was about a 6-page article, and it addressed all the research that had been done or quoted in the 80s, saying fat was bad, showing that all this research was flawed research.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill will reveal how, for years, people have been misled into thinking all fats are harmful, leading to low-fat diets filled with processed foods high in sugars and refined carbs. These choices have contributed to rising obesity, heart disease, and diabetes rates. Dr. O'Neill emphasizes that cutting out healthy fats can be harmful, as they are often replaced with unhealthy alternatives. Healthy fats found in avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil are essential for brain function, hormone production, and cellular health. They also help with satiety, making weight management easier. Dr. O'Neill also points out that it's not just about how much fat we eat, but the quality of the fat. Additionally, fiber plays a critical role. A fiber-rich diet from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can lower cholesterol, aid digestion, and support heart health by regulating blood sugar and providing essential nutrients. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates. Take care of your health and see you in the next video.